Unity of the Huachucas presents Reverend William Gill.
Spiritual vitality, how do you get it? Part 4.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have a choice. Every moment, everywhere, you have a choice. And you can be of good or you can be of evil. Now, that might surprise some of you that I said that, because in Unity we believe that there's only one God, all good, all the time. And I believe that. But I believe that we, through our free will, each one of us can choose to be of good or be of evil. Evil in itself doesn't exist, but evil is a lack of God. Cold doesn't exist. You may ask that question of somebody from North Dakota, and they may say, yeah, it gets pretty cold here. But cold doesn't exist. Cold is a lack of heat. Darkness doesn't exist. Well, it was dark last night, went to bed. Darkness is a lack of light. So evil is a lack of goodness, of good, of God. And each moment of the day, each second of the day, each step you take, you have a choice. And you can be of good or you can be of evil. So Reverend Rick has been speaking to us of spiritual vitality, and he put together a beautiful graphic. Probably you did it, because you're the one doing that kind of thing. Good job. But Reverend Rick came up with a graphic of steps in our spiritual vitality. And we're now near the top with mutual affection and love. Two difficult terms to understand. Mutual affection and love. Why would we talk about mutual affection and love in a series of talks about spiritual vitality? Somebody said because they're going hand in hand. The wife of the minister said that. Why do they go hand in hand, Mrs. How do they say that in the old church? Mrs. Minister? There was a word for the wife of the minister. Why would you say that?
Because they're needed in order to fulfill the spirituality.
They're needed in order to fulfill spirituality. Do we need to fulfill spirituality, or is spirituality in us all the time?
It's on and it's on.
And do we always choose to behave, to act out of that spirituality? That's what I said. You have a choice. So, Reverend Rick spoke of community on his last talk, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. I know we are supposed to get to the top there of the stairs, but I want to talk a little bit more about a community, because to me that is something really important. And it is something really important not only in the world of civics, but it's something really important in the world of spirituality. E pluribus unum. Do you know where that came from? E pluribus unum? Well, Latin, yeah. Well, the wife of the minister. Latin. It's in Latin, but do you know where that came from? I'm a little surprised. That is the motto of the United States of America. And it is found in the seal of the United States of America. Many people think the motto is in God we trust, but no, that came later. Somebody wanted to do something different, but the original was E pluribus unum. Do you know what that means? Anybody here speak Latin? I heard somebody talk. You did not know this was going to be a workshop, not a lecture.
Something about all of us within one or something.
Out of many, one. A bunch of years ago, the founders of our nation thought, let's be one out of many. What does the word community mean?
Together.
Huh?
Same thing.
Same thing. The word community means same thing, out of many, one, through our diversity coming together as one. And so in a topic of mutual affection, brotherly love, and a topic of godly love, would you say that a consideration of how we're doing as a community would matter?
Yes.
And would you say that any step of the way, any second of time, we have a choice to be in community or not be in community?
Yes.
And would you say that it is a godly thing to be in community? Is that just a churchy thing? Is that just a civics thing? Or is it at the core of our spirituality to come together as one? How can we do that? Mutual affection. Like that? So, how can we do that? The answer is right. Get off our asses and go up the steps. He said it. I didn't say it. Don't beat me on the video because he said it. He's your husband. How can we do that? There is the answer, I believe. So, in a talk of spiritual vitality, Reverend Rick started by saying, and he used scripture from the first letter of Peter to the early Christian congregations. It's not good enough to have faith. You got to put feet to your faith. And then he talked about how that the tools, the energy that we can use to put feet to our faith come from God. And then, you remember this, right? I'm getting all over. And then he talked about community. So in living our life as spiritual beings and in putting feet to our faith and actually being of action and in having community, what is at the core of that? Your Christ presence is at the core of all of that. So, why don't we start doing more and talking about it less? Why don't we start taking action in all of these principles that we study here? And why don't we let those actions to bring us to be a greater, more loving, more cohesive community? And I don't mean to be preachy, even though I'm preaching, but the time has come for us to do that. The time has come for us to put that brotherly love, mutual affection, and ultimately love that comes from spirit to work. In thinking and reading through what Reverend Rick did before me, I noticed a great parallel between what he was teaching you and Unity's 5 basic principles. Does anybody here know what Unity's 5 basic principles are? Number 1.
I am. God is. I am. It's 2.
There's only one God that is all good, all present, all the time.
So, statement of faith.
What is number 2?
We're spiritual beings created in God's image.
Good job. We're spiritual beings created in God's image. We are God who walk in this earth. Is it back there? No, it's not. Don't cheat. Number 3.
Through our thinking, we
Create our reality.
create our own realities.
Through our thinking, we create our own reality. So, in your quest of community, in your quest of brotherly love, self-affection, in your quest of being God's agent on this world, what are you thinking? What choices are you making? Not this morning here among us, but out there at the gas station, what are you thinking? What choices are you making? Back at home with your loved one, what are you thinking? What choices are you making? Because everything you hold in your mind, you will see out in your reality. What is number 4?
Through prayer and meditation, we improve our conscious contact with God.
I don't know. Anybody else?
It's right there on
Where is it?
that big orange and yellow sign.
I don't see. No.
There's power in affirmative prayer. We
Oh, I got a little rephrased. You got a little rephrased. But still, you're not looking back there. You're looking over here. So through prayer and meditation, we put these teachings to work. Through prayer and meditation, those ones have been worked up a little bit. Through prayer and meditation, we put these teachings to work. And what is the last and final unity principle?
Shortly, walk your talk.
Nice. Walk your talk. Walk your talk. So in thinking that faith is not good enough, as somebody named Peter wrote a bunch of years ago, and in thinking that we need to be an expression of that spirit, talking about it isn't good enough. We need to do it. We need to walk our talk. And in doing it, we will create the community that we want to see. Because it's really interesting that we have all these tools and we have all of these conversations, but what are we seeing in our daily lives? And I'll include myself in that. I'm not preaching, no one preaching. I will include myself in that. What are we seeing in our daily lives? I heard somebody say division. What else are we seeing in our daily lives?
Suffering.
Suffering. What else are we seeing?
Selfishness.
Selfishness. What else are we seeing?
Hate.
Hate. What else are we seeing?
Lack of godliness.
Lack of God,
Godliness.
godliness. Are all of those things bringing you to a greater community?
Yeah.
And what are we going to do about it? And do we have a choice?
Yes.
Do you really believe that?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you really believe that you have a choice?
Mm-hmm.
Make use of that choice. Don't wait until tomorrow. Start today. And so, as Reverend Rick mentioned before, faith is not good enough. Church is not good enough. Even the study of Scripture is not good enough. And as the unity principles say, you cannot just talk about this stuff. You got to put it to work every day in your life. And my talk's core message, technical stuff, every talk should have one sentence that you bring home and remember, is you have a choice. That's my core message today for you. You have a choice. Now, in exercising your choice, avail yourself of the spiritual tools we're giving you here every Sunday. Avail yourself of the spiritual tools available beyond here. And I'm not a Unity snob. There's all kinds of good information out there. I myself make use of it. But avail yourself of all the tools that you have to make better choices. And as we make better choices, I believe that out of many, one will be born. And I also believe that it would be a beautiful thing. You know, this information is not new. If you read the scripture, they were talking about these topics shortly after Jesus' departure. A little different language, different culture, different, customs. But what I'm saying to you, it's out there in scripture from a long time ago. And then other people said it, and then the Unity founder said it, and then I'm saying it. So we have this information available. For example, in the letter of James, I need to stay in my cage here. In the letter of James, and James, some sources say James was Jesus' half-brother. Other sources say it was another person named James. But somebody named James wrote, but the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy, and good fruits, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. That actually showed up on the Daily Word a couple of days ago, and it got my attention. Because in our quest for community, in our quest for putting feet to our prayers, in our quest for not living by faith alone, but living through acts, it's really important to stay truthful to yourself and to others. Tell yourself the truth as to what is. You heard that about 2.5 weeks ago at the Unity of Tucson. Tell yourself the truth as to what is. I believe that a lot of the pain that we're enduring nowadays in society is the result of the sum total of the lies we've been telling each other for a very long time. So tell yourself the truth about what is. And from there, apply your spiritual tools to create a greater community, a community of God, a community of people that love each other and take care of each other, a community of support, a community that has as its great motto dignity and respect. And I believe that through that, the first beneficiary will be each one of us. Each one of us will be the first beneficiary of the great works we do. Do you have a choice? And how, notice I'm not using the future tense, I'm using the present tense. How are you exercising that choice? And are you of God or are you of evil? And does your faith live in books or does your faith live in acts? And do you believe that you are a child of God? That godliness, as this young lady put it, is in you. I look forward to seeing the fruits of the choices that you are making and will make. And I look forward to celebrating to a greater degree the amazing, wonderful, beautiful community that we are. By telling the truth out to ourselves as to what is, by using our spiritual practices, and by choosing to be of God. I love you and I bless you.